Alright, so before we get turning, don't forget your safety gear. This piece is a fairly small piece, but if it did happen to get loose from my scrolling jaw chuck, I'll be doing some turning without a live center on the tailstock. So if it does, for whatever reason, pop itself free from my scrolling jaw chuck, always good to have on your face shield. Alright, so I have a piece of maple here that is, what is this, inch and just a little over inch and a half, like inch and maybe 9/16, 5/8, and it's 5 5/8 inches long. I have it turned into a cylinder, and what I did was I just came in here with my Forstner bit and drilled an 1/8 of an inch recess into the top of this piece. And what I'm hoping to be able to do is to take and do an inlay into the top of this piece with a contrasting wood, and hopefully I'll be using a small piece of this hairy oak that I have, a tiny little piece of hairy oak I have left over here. So that's what I'm going to set about trying to do. I don't want to bore you too much, so I had this prepped out already, and now what I'm going to do is work on the canister, which I've done a lot of canisters, so I'm going to turn this canister, and then I will check back in with you and show you as I go to start making the piece for the inlay, and then gluing that up, sanding it down, and finishing this piece off. Alright, so I just showed you the blank that I have mounted up in my scrolling jaw chuck, and in the interest of not boring you, I am going to do some of this work off camera, and then as I get to the inlay portion and making that little inlay, I'll check back in with you and show you that process. I have this piece of hairy oak mounted up in my scrolling jaw chuck, and I was lucky because I have a Supernova 2 scrolling jaw chuck here that is my secondary chuck, and I have this Easy Wood 4-inch Easy Wood chuck, or Easy Chuck, and I was able to leave my piece mounted to that, so I'll be able to just pop that right back on, and the center will remain the same. If you don't have that, what you can do is take and carefully mark your jaws. These jaws are usually numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can put a little pencil line and label your piece A or 1 or whatever however you want to label it. And I found that that works. And then in conjunction with making sure that you have a good center point here that you can come back to on this end as well. Alright, so now here we are, chucked up. First thing I'm going to do, I CA stabilize this end because it had some splits in it, and safety gear. I'm going to crank this up real fast, up to 3,000 RPM. This stuff could just split right out of here, so I'm hearing it kind of popping a little bit, so I'm a little nervous about it. But let's test that. Okay, got it. Okay, that should be it. That's really close. Now. Okay, that's pretty much it right there. Let's check with my piece. Oh yeah, it's a perfect snug fit right there. Alright, so now I just have to get that deeper here. Move this down a hair. Coming in with my diamond parting tool, and I'm just going to try to carefully increase the depth here. Coming back in with my scraper. Okay, I'm just about to pop through the whole thing, so there it goes. There, the piece is free. Sort of free. It's trying to pop out anyway. Okay. So the hairy oak was actually trying to split. That's why it was popping out of there. So what I'm going to try to do, there's a little piece missing over here, which is right there, which is, hopefully you can see this. Anyway, this hairy oak is so prone to splitting, it's split right here. I'm going to CA glue that back together and then stick it inside of the mortise and turn it down. Alright, so I've got this little piece of hairy oak trimmed to size, and I'm going to take some thin CA glue and put some in here, put some on this, and I'm going to take, wait a second, a little bit more here. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to push that all down in there, and I'm going to give it an equal tap and then safety on, just in case that stuff spatters out. And there we go. Pulling the lid off because that forced CA glue down onto the inside of this. So pull the lid off and let it cure up. Then I'll stick it back on and turn it, and I'll show you that process. Alright, so that CA is set up, and I'm going to be coming in here with a little spindle gouge. And facing this off. Alright, I got a real nice cut on that. Move myself down just a hair, tiniest little bit. There you go. Alright, I think that's got it. Now just some sanding. And some sanding on that, and that should end up looking real pretty. Alright, I'll do some sanding and then put some finish on and show you what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of wet sanding on this. Just on this end grain for right now. Alright, I decided to do a little bit of couple burn lines here, so I made a couple lines using a skew. I'm just burning in a few lines here. just to add a little, a little interest to this fairly plain wood. I'm going to do some sanding, put some finish on it, show you the finished product.